Hello everyone, and welcome to Nexus Revolutions. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Nat, I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your dungeon master for this story. Nexus Revolutions follows on from the last Nexus campaign that I ran, although you don't have to have watched it to know what's going on here. While the events of that campaign have consequences for this one, I will catch you up on anything you need to know as and when it comes up. This game might run a little differently to some D&D games, mostly because we have some homebrew mechanics going on and our players are all playing Doris units, little automatons originally inspired by the robots and sentries in the Portal video games. We're going to lean into sci-fi more than fantasy, and while this is a fun game with plenty of shenanigans, we also have some moments of underlying existentialism that deal with identity, autonomy, freedom, enslavement, and AI, and some quite heavy things. Things are going to change quite radically for our little delightful Dorises throughout the campaign, and the name they use to introduce themselves to you in a moment may be different to the one they're using in-game, so please respect the name that you see on screen when you're referring to them in chat if you're joining us live. And if at any moment you need to take a little step away from the screen for a bit and rejoin us later, please do so. Look after yourselves. It is a fun time, but there's some heavy stuff too. Check out our TTRPG safety toolkit and content warnings if you need to see what's coming up. With all that being said, let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hello, I'm Mike. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing DEM 42. I am the horticultural care assistant who used to work under Lauder, they, them.
Hi, I'm Evie, I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing DR33, who uses any pronouns. DR33 was the Doris of Dr. Bindell from the Research Division.
Hello, my name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I play Doris DA225, who uses any pronouns. Doris DA225 was the Doris of Gregarious Tusk.
Hi everyone, my name is Ali, I go by they, them, and I will be playing DEM 24221, who was the Doris of an engineer called Minari. And yeah, let's see what shenanigans we have here.
Check out our sponsor Phoenix Dice for carefully crafted click-clack maths rocks for use in your favorite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made with sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection. And if you put !dice into chat, you can enter a raffle for a chance to win some dice of your very own.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can join us from as little as one of your local currency by following the link in chat or in the description below. Our D20 Club are the best. They have created a fan Discord for us, as well as a wiki page to keep track of all the Roll Together stories. And you can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation and then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, mobile, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
You can find us across social media by searching for Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and you want to see our previous episodes, you can catch up straight afterwards on Twitch, YouTube, or your favorite podcast provider by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Nexus Revolutions. We have had a couple of revolutions so far, but will we have more tonight? Let's see. Previously, our heroes, 4 spherical automatons designated Doris units and given names by those who used to instruct them, they found themselves in a time loop, trying to explore the abandoned facility in which they used to operate. continuing to make more connections between memories that occurred before the loop and a time before their memory banks even remember. What is that about? Delightful Dorises have found a sense of autonomy and purpose in trying to find out why the last 28 minutes keep repeating, as well as discovering the fate of those they once reported to. Those, as Sassy said last time, they now consider their friends. Dree, a name they call themselves, managed to make it to the lab of Dr. Bindell, a human harmonics researcher, and found his mandolin, with Sassy offering a prayer to Saluna to acknowledge the loss, because he was very dead. Meanwhile, Tinker and the newly named Curiosity began to explore the Arboretum, accessible through a burning hole left in the wall of vegetation that had grown and blocked the entrance. They heard a curious sound that correlated with the moment that time began to reset. On the next loop, Tinker hid amongst the dead bodies and wrecked Doris units in the Great Hall outside the Arboretum because they wanted to see what it was that burnt the foliage away. And the others swiftly headed to Dr. Bindell's office to pick up the mandolin again, because whilst their memories and personal upgrades stay intact every loop, everything else physically resets, unfortunately. So we've got to do a little dungeon run every time. So whilst waiting in the Great Hall, Tinker was approached by a small, sentient little rolly ball that felt part of them. Same sort of look about them. And just as they were bonding and saying, "Oh, what is this?" a large centipede-like construct entered the hall from the lift shaft opposite the Arboretum. It immediately detected Tinker, declared them incorrect, before kicking the crap out of them and proceeding to burn their way into the Arboretum. Luckily, Sassy has rediscovered that they can cast magic, possibly through a link to Saluna, the god Minari, their person worshipped. Sassy healed Tinker, and the four of them have dove down the elevator shaft to the lower level to explore more in the few minutes they have left of this loop. So, as we left everyone in the last loop, Dree, you had run into the Central Nexus Hub Chamber area, but not the Central Nexus Hub Chamber itself, just the area, to go to Dr. Durrani's office. Dr. Durrani, scientist that maybe invented the thing that caused the problems in the last Nexus. Oops. So you've gone to look in her office to see what happened, and you found it destroyed, because that's where the final boss battle happened in the last game. Curiosity, you have headed towards Gregarious Tusk's office, directly opposite the lift shaft, to see what you can find there. And Sassy, you headed into the engineering and maintenance lower level, to the right of the lift, and you were starting to look for Minari, but I think there was a sense of panic and concern. It didn't go so well. You tripped over some stuff. You were quite distracted in there. So that left Tinker reluctant to go into Tusk's office, next to a large spherical metal decoration in the center of this lower great hall, which little rolly ball just led you to and made a little querying noise. We're going to pick up. I'm going to leave, actually, Tinker. I'm going to leave you with that thought for a minute to decide what you want to do. I know you've had a week, but, I'm going to leave you to sit in that for a little longer. I would like to go over to Dree in Dr. Durrani's office. Yeah? I would like you... Well, what is your plan here? You've run in, you've seen its carnage. What are you looking for?
My intention was to look for anything that had information, see if there was a Doris in here or parts of a Doris, anything to do with harmonics, or any remnants of any written notes or tablets at all.
Great. All right, well, make me that investigation check.
Okay, I should not have started painting my nails. Why did I do this? Okay,
Very mean of me to come to you first, but it's going to make sense, I promise.
Okay. So, I have not unlocked intelligence, so my intelligence is better than it would be otherwise.
Oh, you've not? No, I have it circled, but apparently you've not.
No. So it's a +1, so that is a 15.
A 15, excellent. This is good news. So, as you're rummaging around, you find a few things with a 15. So it is in Carnage, which means that neatly stacked papers that might have been a bit overwhelming to look at and start going through, might have taken time. They've been sent everywhere. So actually what you've got is papers on the floor that your eyes are immediately drawn to. It's almost like, I don't know, like the writing has a little sheen on it, or that particular paper has a little glowing outline, like that's an interactable item or something. Yeah. So you're immediately going to notice in one of the far corners is a little, I don't want to call it like a seat, just like a little round disc that's just like a little resting pod. Sort of like, it's got like a curved inside, and you recognize it because you have one of your own in Dr. Bendel's office. It's just like somewhere a Doris can go and like retract legs, just sit and power down. So you're like,
Station.
okay, yeah, it's a docking station. So must have been a Doris here. As you're looking at that, what you do, your oculus is drawn to a page on the floor which has notes about DR01, which you know was Dr. Dorani's Doris unit. About something that Dr. Bendel said about the Doris units led me to investigate. And then there's a little like, you skim through. There is the facility there for a wider connection, but they've not been. It's curious. And skim. I don't have time to work on this now, but I feel like I'm onto something. Skim. These are like over this a couple of days on the same kind of note. Cracked it. That's all it says. On the date that you all felt that glitch, the day that you were all reported for a glitch, it just says, cracked it.
Brilliant note taking, Dr. Bindel. Oh, you keep
Dr.
such
Durrani.
meticulous records.
This is Dr. Durrani.
Dr. Durrani, really well done. I'm not
Look.
sorry you got eaten by Ragnar.
She was doing this as a side project whilst also working on the Nexomancer, so you know, busy.
Excuses.
The other thing that you notice is another note nearby as you've been like scooting through this piles and piles and pages of, again, this is now a sketch of some kind of item, some kind of device. Now there are other images and sketches of the Nexomancer, which you don't know about, but you look at that and there's something in you that's like, that's dealt with, that's in the past, that's not important anymore. There's another invention that you catch sight of in these notes, and a sketch of a long silver rod with carvings on it that, I don't know, I mean, make me an Arcana check.
Hey. See. Okay.
Actually, this is an intelligence roll, and you've not unlocked intelligence. This Arcana check, I mean, it's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be a 16.
I got 15.
Oh no.
The tragedy.
Okay. Well, it's got swirly carvings on it, isn't it?
It's pretty.
Pretty. It's pretty.
I'd like to find it and wave it around.
Yeah. You recognize the word underneath, and not because you recognize the name of it, but it's written in Elvish, and it says Luma Edraith, which you know because you have been programmed to speak Elvish, that means time keeper.
Ooh. That sounds relevant.
Does, doesn't it? I'm gonna come back to you because this feels like Dree has found something that's like I'm gonna sit here and investigate this. But I'm gonna move on to someone else. Just while you're sat there with that.
Yeah, my hamster.
Yeah. Have a little curiosity. In Tusk's office, what are you looking for?
Does Curiosity know what he's looking for? I imagine he's like a bull in a china shop and just like, I've only got 2 minutes. I've only got 2 minutes, and then like just smashing into shit, like just like throwing pieces of paper everywhere. And he's just like looking for anything that he thinks could potentially be helpful.
Okay. Sure. Make me an investigation check. If you unlocked intelligence, you have.
Yes, I have. Investigation. We're back. 6.
Are you cursed? Are you cursed?
This
Roll
this
digital.
game maybe. Curiosity's, well, maybe it makes sense that he's curious because he never finds the answer.
How sad was that, chat?
Sad. This is poor
So-
sweet baby Curiosity.
Yeah, he's just trashing the place, I guess.
Okay. Sure. Having a lovely time I think this is like maybe you're kind of shuffling stuff about so much you're not really paying attention. You get to the desk and there's a drawer that's locked and you just spend a long time just pulling rather than engaging the neurons to
Yes.
try
Well-
unlocking it. You're just like pull the
Well, the
nut.
actual like really important piece of plot information is like
It's just
right
on the
in front of him. And he's just like trying to yank into these.
Great. Okay.
Well, that was quick.
I mean, I think you all sort of get the feeling that there might be stuff to discover in Tusk's office, but Curiosity is not having a great time. But Sassy, I'm going to move to you in engineering first. Sorry, Tinker, we will come back to you soon.
Question.
Yes.
How long?
How long? Well, as we finished, you had about 2 minutes left.
2 minutes, okay.
So canonically, you ran in and started like looking for Minari, rolled a 4. So I've decided you've tripped up and you're just kind of lying there going, ugh.
I'm shouting, Minari, where are you? Honey, I need you.
Oh,
While
sweetie.
I roll on the floor.
Oh.
Your passive perception is quite high though, right?
Because I'm an eye. I'm the biggest of the eyes here.
Okay, great. That's good to know. The biggest of the eyes.
It's not an eye measuring contest.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Who's got the biggest oculus? Steady on, chat. Calm yourselves. It's not that kind of
Behave.
game.
Yes.
I think as you roll, with a passive perception, you realize again you've not been down here, but you know that it is also engineering and maintenance, and you clock that it is a similar layout. It looks like a similar layout to the floor above. So that rectangle shape with offices all round, and that probably means that there is a big. So on your level, at the top of the rectangle, there's like a bigger hub that all the engineers have their common area, and then Minari's office is off there, Shell's office is off there. The big hub is where Doris 024 was blocking the door into the sort of engineering maintenance corridor. You feel like this on the maintenance focused level probably has the same sort of thing. So it might be worth at least having a look down there.
I will roll my way there, but also, I guess I'm looking as well as I roll for anything of utility. I'm just looking because I have the feeling, I have the chills that we are about to go back.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just trying to make a mental map, but I'm not the most intelligent of the group. So I'm just rolling towards the staff hub.
Sure. In that case, as you are rolling, and I'm picturing not like scooting the arms and legs in and rolling forwards like Samus, like Metroid. I'm imagining you doing a toddler temper tantrum, like arms up, legs down, sausage rolling.
It's more like I give up. You know, it's just like, okay.
Great. In that case, can you make me an active perception check, please?
Can I guide myself?
Sure.
That's a total of 26.
Oh, lummy. Nice.
Was that a natural 20? No, 26.
Nice. Great. Okay. So, with that, I'm going to say, like, you can spot general tools and bits and bobs that may be useful. And I don't mean that in a specific, here is an item for you way. I mean that in a, if you have any ideas about something you wanted to build or construct or need a thing, you could probably find it down here in the future. Okay, but that's something we can talk about in roleplay as and when it comes up. So I'd say, like, note down +1 useful thing from maintenance, but it's got to make sense that it would be in there. What you find as you get to the entrance of that maintenance hub lounge area is on the wall is a map of the facility. Now, you already know the map of the facility, but this one is for the maintenance workers. So guess what it's got on it?
Secret passages.
And air vents.
I'm gonna broadcast this picture to the others. I'm gonna leave it in the group chat. Tips.
Love heart
just
underneath.
stand there, staring, taking it all in. Great. Tinker. Little Rolly Ball has just turned to you and gone, "Oh!" Looking at this large ornamental sphere in the middle of the room. It's got swirly carvings on it and rivets on it, but it kind of, I don't know. Well, actually, no, I'm going to throw this over to you. I'm not going to lead you. What do you want to do?
As being his my little ball friend seems to be nudging me towards the large spherical, I'm guessing, statue of a big Doris. I'm going to begin looking around and investigating it to see if it is actually a Doris and if it's got maybe some hidden compartments or something or anything, or a way to activate it.
Great, make me an investigation check. Have you unlocked your investigation, your intelligence? You have.
I have. Oh, that is a 16 for a 23.
This is music to my ears. This is what I want. I want you to discover stuff. Mike's dice, I want you to discover stuff.
Mike, can you just hold your dice to the camera so we can all tell them we want to discover things?
I'm doing digital. Maybe that's my mistake. I will go get real dice.
Might be for the best.
Yeah, there's at least one pair in like every room of the house.
You've got to know where your nearest set is.
Just for emergency purposes.
With a 23. Was that 23 or 26?
23.
Great. As you walk around this large sphere, I mean, how are you investigating it? Are you looking at it? Are you touching it? Are you trying to feel?
Sort of like looking, obviously having a rather large, not as big as Sassy's, but having a rather large Oculus. A lot of it is going to be looking around, seeing something, going over and touching it, seeing something else, going over and touching it, and just it's going to be a mixture of the two.
I want to be clear, you all have large Oculuses, okay?
I know, but Sassy's is the biggest, and if we tell
Okay.
Sassy otherwise, we just get sass.
So, as you're walking around this sphere, you touch your hand to it, and you trace some of the carvings in the outside of it. And you have an inquisitive mind. You have a mind that enjoys putting stuff together. All of those hours sat listening to Tusk waffle on about wild ideas, but never quite managing to come up with ones that would work. There was part of you that probably could have made them work if you had the autonomy to think about it. And now you do. Not now. You always did. It was cut off from you for a while. And as you're looking at the sphere, you realize that it wasn't just any hand that carved these indents into it. It was yours. You made this. And it's made out of the same metal as you. And the little rollerball. And as rollerball sort of leads you round, you do notice there are sort of almost like there are circular shapes around it, almost like sealed portholes. And then it's weird to say in the middle, because there is not like it's a ball, right? But if you were to imagine it facing you as a circle, sort of in the center vertical axis near the top, there's actually a small indent in it. It kind of looks a bit like the Death Star, but with a curvier indent, right? That indent looks like little rollerball might fit in it.
Gonna lean up, put little rollerball inside of it.
It's a little bit of a stretch because this thing is medium sized, so is bigger than you. It's got to be like you reach up on tippy toes and rollerball's on the tip of your fingers, and you're like boop to get it in. And little rollerball spins in this socket until it doesn't have an oculus in the same way that you do, but there is like a little central light bit, kind of like R2-D2 has little not eyes. Little light will come around and sort of focus in the center, and then little veins of light will spread out from rollerball across these sigils that you carved into this large sphere, and those portholes will twist slightly and look like they open.
I'm going to move round to them and see how they open.
It's like one of I don't know that there's an official proper term to describe it, but like a camera shutter has lots of sort of curved pieces that cover each other, and it sort of opens wide. They twist to open wider. It's that same thing.
Is it large enough for me to climb into?
Not fully. No. Well, You're looking at the bottom. If you're looking at there's like, I'm going to describe, there's like 2 towards the bottom of it, and 2 towards the middle of it. That's all you can see from this angle.
I'm going to see if there's any way that I can get some sort of elevation to look at the top end.
Great. I think this is about the amount of time that it takes for Dree to suddenly ping Luma Edraith to everyone, and for Sassy to go, a map, to everyone. So you all sort of, and for Curiosity to go,
roller coaster of emotions.
I was screaming then like a stop of like, guys, there's nothing here.
So, given that we're all connected,
yes,
I wonder how we're dealing with each other emotions. Like,
there's a
we
lot
can
going
barely-
on. Right?
we can barely handle our own emotions, and now how are we dealing with each other's emotions? Because like we have to ask to say like, oh, how you doing? This is like instant communication and like extreme exercise of empathy, which I don't think any one of us has ever had.
I mean, that's the thing. You've only sort of rediscovered the concept of emotions as well. There is a lot going on in this moment. How do you think you are all reacting to this sudden flood of pretty heavy information as well for all of you?
Probably freezing up, to be honest. Just so much, just in 6 seconds. It's probably just kind of shorting some circuits and just kind of sit there with the sketch like a Lumo Drive.
I feel like Sassy, given that was so focused on the map, started like mixing images of the sphere and the map and everything and papers here and there. Maybe was there a portrait of Tusk in his office?
There is, yeah.
So all those very visual, like collage and kaleidoscopic things, is just like a trip. Sassy is having a trip of visual things.
Mm. How about Tinker and Curiosity?
Right now, I don't know if there's a right lot going through Curiosity's head, bar frantic, inefficient searching. Like, it's probably more frustrating to the 3 of you with how well your rolls are, seeing Curiosity just not, like, putting 2 electrodes together, and just, like, taking a second. Curiosity just thinks, the faster I look through all this stuff, the more information I'm going to gather. And all you 3 are just like, yes, but you're not actually taking any information in.
I think Tinker is kind of the opposite to Curiosity. As I was tracing my hands over the carvings that I put in, it's almost like an explosion within my brain of like, oh wow, this is something that I've carved myself. And then you'll get like a brief passage of sadness because it's like, what else have I lost since carving this? What time has gone between doing this and now? And then it'll be joy at having this little ball thing with me, and then when I put the ball into my little friend into the orb, I get like a wave of loneliness again because I feel like I'm alone again.
I mean, you're never alone.
No.
If that helps. Wow. Okay. So with an overwhelm of information and stress and empathy and loneliness and all of this, I think there is. Shut up, phone. Excuse me. There is a lot going on, and you know what I think it is, because the other 3 have made such like huge little revelations. Curiosity, when you're hit with this wave of information, I think that part of you that has a little like frustrated strop. Well, I mean, how would that manifest? Do you physically strop, or do you sit there and sulk, or?
It's that classic, like, if he could be like pulling his hair out, it'd be pulling his hair out, but obviously just like a nice smooth top.
Wait, no, you have a bucket hat, my friend.
Oh yes, frustratedly holding on to the ends of the bucket handle and just sort of like stood, and then it's that classic almost you pan out and you can see the absolute. I mean, I don't know how messy Tusk's office was before. Was it pretty clear and tidy?
It was pretty clear and tidy before.
So it's no longer clear and tidy, and it's almost just like Curiosity looks back through the door to where the other three would be, and you can just see like paper and stuff like falling around him like rain, and he's just like, oh, I've made a mistake.
And it's that turning to the door and sort of wide angle, like seeing everything outside. I mean, you can't see Dree and you can't see Sassy because they are in separate departments. You can see into the Great Hall and you can see this large sphere, mechanically medium, but for you all it's large, sphere, and Tinker like staring at it, hands on, like, oh. And just beyond, because you're facing this way, because you've suddenly taken this view in, there is a ventilation shaft behind a plant pot. And out of that, you start to see some shadows. And these are the shadows that you recognize from Dree and Sassy, seeing them chase the little rolly ball the first time you saw the rolly ball. Please, everyone, roll initiative.
But there's only like 2 minutes left.
With two, wow. Yeah, but around is
Combat.
only 6 seconds.
Combat, my friend, is slow. Well, fast, but slow.
It's definitely not been an hour, so I definitely haven't had a short rest.
No, you've not. It's been like a minute and a half since you jumped down the elevator shaft. So it's been about 2 minutes since you were trounced.
Yeah,
3 minutes since you were trounced.
I'm still feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, shout them out for me.
10.
Oh, wait, why are you not? Let me scroll. Oh, it's gone in already for Sassy.
19.
Oh, 19. It's currently saying 10 for you, but okay. I will change it manually. How rude.
Well, that's just rude.
Dree?
16.
Nice. And Tinker.
Well, I've not unlocked my decks yet, so I rolled a 3. That's going to make it a 2.
Oh, no. I mean, you're very distracted and very, like, you're having a big revelation. You know? Yeah. And then this... No, please scroll. Thank you. Rolled. Yeah. Okay. So, as we see these little shapes start to crawl out of the ventilation shaft and start running full speed towards Tinker in the center of the room. Curiosity, you see this, and everyone else suddenly, in the midst of all of the other emotions you're feeling, everything stops and you all see this image of these little shadows like screaming towards Tinker. I say screaming, like running really fast. Words. So Curiosity, you've pinged that image, and then Sassy, you are first up. I mean, you are probably about... I'm going to do maths here, and I'm going to make up numbers because I didn't set how big these maps are. I would say it was probably... Yeah. This is a big room. It's a great hall. So the center of the great hall, where the sphere is, I'm going to say that that's going to be 45 feet to the entrance of engineering and maintenance, and then you went up another 15 feet. So I'm going to say, no, you went further than that. You went up another 30 to 45 feet. So I'm going to say that that's, what did I just say? 45. So that's 90. So that's like, you're going to have to do some running to get back. And the same is true of Dree. It's going to cost you 90 feet of movement to get round, because you've both got to do like down and then across. Curiosity, you're going to be, that's going to be like 45, but you're just in there, so that's another like so you're about 50 feet away from the center, and Tinker, you're right in the center.
It's my turn, right?
Yes.
Feeling all of these emotions, Sassy goes like in a hyper mode and just starts sprinting as fast as I with feet can run. Movement and action dash.
Yeah.
And then some of the stickers around, some of the stickers that Sassy took from the workshop, they come from strange places and they have weird abilities. And one of them can be used to cast Misty Step. So I'm gonna cast bonus action Misty Step, 30 feet to get next
So
to.
right
So who's been attacked? Sorry.
No one's been attacked yet. They're on their way, but you
So
get to go
towards
first.
Tinker.
Yeah, they're running towards Tinker.
So if I may be in front of Tinker, like as a final, like mid shield between Tinker and the shadows, as those stickers, some of them are like holographic, so they shine, and I disappear and I appear in front of Tinker, and that is my turn.
Great.
And I say,
great turn.
fear no more. Wait, no, yes, let's fear. Let's go.
Great. Dree, you're up.
Cool. So I have a bit of a jammy question.
Yes.
So I'm about 90 feet away movement-wise, but how far away am I, like, physically, like, in a straight line, for example?
As the crow flies?
Yeah, if the crow could fly through walls.
Oh no! Why? Why? Tell me why.
Because Slow has 120-foot radius, and I can technically see through the eyes, kind of the other Doris students. So my question was going to be, could I cast Slow within range to a place that I am not technically physically there, but is within range and I can experience?
I think I love this line of thinking, but I think to prevent weird jamminess that should not be able to happen, I think your unit has to be able to see targets for attacking and casting spells. So yeah, I'm afraid, like, great query, definitely should ask it. You've got to ask these things. Yeah, I think you've got to go with your unit has to be able to see it. You know where they are, but you need to be able to see the point that you're targeting.
Okay, cool. I guess I will just, you know what? I'm going to cast Fly on myself, because that gives me a movement speed of 60 feet, and I get to fly.
Yes, great.
So I fly to 60 feet closer. So I'm ready for it, and also hover, and so maybe no beasties can get me.
Yeah, great. So you're 30 feet away now. So you're like in the entrance of the central Nexus hub chamber area. So you can now see what's going on.
Okay.
So if you had any bonus action, obviously you can't do a spell bonus action. If you had any other bonus action things you could do that. Like a bardic inspiration.
Yes, I can do a bardic inspiration. Okay, who needs bardic
30-foot
inspiration?
range.
Let's see. Bardic inspiration is 60-foot range.
Great.
I'm gonna give it to Tinker because I think you're gonna need it. So again, you hear in your head, inspiration again. Now,
Oh, thank you.
we will change that voice when we get out of this predicament.
Great. Okay. It is now the little sticky shadow creatures' turns. They are as they come out of the vent, you can now see there are 7 of them, and they're going to speed towards. These are much faster than the ones that I did in the original Nexus, because now I have statted them properly. They are going to speed right up to you, and then as they get in front of you, Sassy, now that you're there, they are going to go from lots of tiny little creatures and they're going to together into one large, dark, spiky shadow creature. And it's going to swing out at you. But the way it swings out, rather than doing like one big fist, it's like each one is going to dash out and nip at you and get back into the swarm. So it's going to attack you 6 times.
In your mind curiosity, you hear, "Can I borrow your mop?"
Well, what equipment would you have been picking up? Because remember, you did pick up equipment from engineering. So if there were anything that you wanted to use as a mace, for
So
example,
it was
a crowbar.
the leather mat that said,
Yeah,
"Welcome." Only
that's your
different
armor.
point. And the dartboards as a shield.
But you did pick up like a physical weapon, like a
I
cleric
have
would have a mace,
a
right?
hammer.
Great. Yeah, there we go. And that please use a regular mace's like stats for that hammer. It's just flavored as a hammer for this purpose. Great. So it's going to attack you 6 times. What is your AC, please, my dear?
17 to hit.
17. Great. So I need to roll a 12 to hit you. First one rolls a nat 1. Second one hits. Third one misses. Fourth one misses. Fifth one hits. So that's 2 hits. And the 6th one misses. So I think there's they're still sort of gathering together and swarming. So 2 of them leap out and pummel you for a whole 4, 5, 6 bludgeoning damage across the 2 of them, plus wow, they rolled real bad, plus 2 little acid damage.
2 acid damage. Ow.
And what are you doing that means the other 4 miss? Because they're like short little like kind of things. So is it that you're blocking them with your shield, or are you like moving?
Okay. I feel like this is very new to. I mean, I don't think I ever been in combat before, but I've witnessed some not tantrums, but one bad day from Minari, where none of the experiments is running, when there is not a favorite drink at the cafe, where Tusk has announced that they're gonna cut benefits, so she's just like throwing darts all around or books, and Sassy has to evade them. So that's what Sassy is doing.
Great, love that. Lovely. That is the end of its turn for now. So now it is Curiosity's turn.
I feel like Tusk might be the type of person to hang up weapons on the walls and things like that. I just kind of get that vibe. Is there anything, I'm looking for two things in particular, anything that looks super helpful for Tinker, and then anything that looks like it's got range, like a crossbow or anything like that, or even a slingshot.
Okay.
Anything that I could potentially use to shoot.
So you made an investigation check beforehand.
Yeah.
That did not go so well.
Yes, I'm trying again. If you wish for me to burn my action to do so, I shall.
I think in this instance,
my logic is that I'm changing what I'm not looking for.
You're not looking for information
anymore.
You're looking for stuff
like,
on the walls.
Yeah, for like weapons. Because I don't think Curiosity would see a weapon as information.
Okay, sure. Go for it. Make me an investigation check.
Oh, what is this 1-9? That is a 19.
Fantastic. Okay, so with a 19, yeah, he is the kind of guy that keeps a crossbow on his wall. Of course he is. Yeah, you can grab that. Sure.
Okay.
Well, crossbow or short bow? What do you want?
I feel like a crossbow, something more mechanical would make more sense for Doris.
At level 2, rangers only have one attack, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything bonus action wise that you can do at your level?
Yes, I would like to burn my bonus action to prepare Ensnaring Strike for my next turn. As you can see, the pot that you described that was in the background, the vines begin to sort of grow and almost begin to surround the behind of this creature. Obviously not sort of going straight away, but they begin to grow out of nowhere.
Something magical that just happened there, Mike. As you were describing that, your camera started tinting green a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Did anyone else notice that, or was that just me?
That was very cool. Yeah.
What is going on?
there is a lighting engineer behind my laptop.
I have a really big budget, guys.
I've got a kobold under your desk just fiddling with lights.
Amazing.
They're underneath my desk.
Ensnaring Strike requires you to actually hit for it to clasp onto stuff, right?
Yeah, cool. But it's on your next hit. So you can have it prepared and concentrate on it up to a minute. So you just got to wait till you hit.
Sure. Is your intention to stay in Tusk's office?
No, I'm going to start sort of moving forwards. If there was nothing for Tinker as well, I don't know if I'm being a bit cheeky trying to fill in a full action for 2 weapons. But if not, if that's all I found, I'll start marching back into the Great Hall to get myself into a good position that basically sort of cut across where Tinker and Sassy are, so I'm parallel with the monster and not my 2 allies. Okay, if I can kind of get to a position like that.
I'll offer you the choice. You can either, but because you technically spent your action looking for a weapon, and I'm going to say the reason you've not spotted anything with Tinker is because you were literally like, there, that's what I need, grab.
Yeah, cool.
What I'm going to give you the option of is you can either do that movement and get yourself in a good position for next turn, or you can take the time that you would have spent running to do a shot with disadvantage at the creature because you just grabbed the crossbow and bam. So if it lands, obviously your Ensnaring Strike will work.
Goes off. Let's go. Why not? Oh. So a 17 to hit with disadvantage.
That will hit.
And a crossbow. What type are we saying? Hand or standard or heavy?
The standard one, rather
So that's a
than the little
D8.
Great. Do you have to spend a turn reloading? I've never used a crossbow. What's the deal with them?
No, I don't think.
Normally, rule. I think it's rules as written. You have to spend a turn to a turn to do it. But a lot of DMs will say that you can forego one of your attacks to do it. It's up to the DM.
That would make sense, yeah. But then, yes, I imagine I would not be able to use it next round. That's 5, 6. Wait, I don't have any decks currently.
You do. You have the base Doris decks.
Oh, so 4 instead of 5 damage.
No worries, no worries. Okay.
Oh, and then it's ensnaring strike damage. That's just 1 extra. What sort of damage is that? Piercing, sorry. I was trying to figure out. Yeah, an extra 1, so 5. And then can you make me a strength saving throw?
Oh, sure. Sorry, I just checked before. The ensnaring strike doesn't do any elemental. It's just piercing, right? And you did
Just
piercing,
piercing, yeah.
Fine. Great. Strength saving throw, you say?
Yes, please.
I mean, it's not particularly strong. Yeah.
If it counts as a larger creature, it does have advantage.
Oh, does it now? Interesting. Well, I rolled exactly the same on both, and I rolled 1 digital and 1 physical.
Wow.
I think this creature, whilst it is large, it's made up of a whole bunch of small bits, and they're not like solidly connected. It's like a swirling, writhing. So actually, whilst it might have been able to slip out because it's just a pure strength, it's not that strong. So I rolled a 5.
5 is a fail. My writhing mass of thorny vines wraps around this creature, and it is now restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends.
Great. And is that a concentration, or is that just...
It is concentration from me, and then at the start of each of its turns, I get to roll an extra d6 of damage.
Nice. Amazing. Is that everything from Curiosity?
That is everything.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Then we go down to Tinker. You ain't looking too good.
I definitely am not looking too good. How far did I get in terms of looking for a way to get on top of the big Doris?
I think make me for free. I am in a generous mood. Another
Thank you.
investigation check.
That is a 12 for a 19.
Beautiful. Yeah. You spot that clever old you. One of the sides of it, as you've been going around, you just got to that side. Like, it's like you're going around the sphere and you just get round in time to see Curiosity ping that image of them all running towards you, and then suddenly Sassy is like bam right in front of you, protecting you. But there is on this side of the sphere like little, it's not like a full ladder, but little divots that are clearly intended to be a ladder.
I shall climb it.
Great. There is, as you get to the top of the sphere, another one of those portholes is opened slightly.
And does that look big enough to fit one of us in?
So with an investigation of 19, as it currently stands, like it's opened like maybe 2/3 the way. No. But this is your creation. So there's something, and I think little rolly ball. Now it's in this sphere. It's like it's got a little something extra. Now, none of the rest of you hear this in the same way that you would if one of you had a thought. You're hearing it vicariously through Tinker, but Tinker, you now have another connection. And it says, "Hop in, boss."
I'm gonna hop in.
So as you sort of get to the top and kind of look and start, you can put yourself in this thing, the oculus will open up even more so you can drop inside. Now that you are inside, it's quite snug, like you can't move around a whole lot, but there are little panels, especially leading towards like the other little openings, and you can see from inside there's 2 on the bottom, 2 either side, and 1 at the top, which, you know, feels like a shape might be created there. Fives are a thing. But inside, you are now protected by this shell. So I'm going to say, because you did your investigation, it's what are you intending on doing? Are you intending on just hiding? Do you have any bonus actions that you want to do against the creature?
I want to see if there's a way. In my brain, Josh's brain, I'm wondering if this thing will act as a protection against the time reset, or if I can activate this thing as a large Megazord type thing and start stomping on these things.
I do fight.
Are we gonna fuse? Because I want to be the left hand.
So much I can say to that I'm going to choose not to.
Okay. I'm going to carry over your 19 a little bit, but there's only so much you can get to in 6 seconds when you spent 3 of them, 4 of them getting into this thing.
Yeah.
As you're looking around, the little levers and panels feel like there are, you know that there's memories, you know that in a past life you knew how to operate this thing. It might take a little more shaking for you to be able to do it right. But the fact that there are 5, I'm going to reword it, it's not portholes, there are 5 sockets in this thing. There should be 5 of you. I'm going to leave that with you. Any bonus actions?
I was joking.
I'm not.
I'm just gonna think in my head, kaiju battle with the big centipede thing, and then that's my turn.
Great. Lovely. At the end of Tinker's turn, we go back to the top of the round. Sassy.
Don't do that to my friends. And I cast Moonbeam.
Just a little slap. Great. What do I need to do?
I present 1 sticker. For some reason, 1 sticker has saloons symbol. I don't know. I remember I took like a coin from the small shrines. I present the little coin, and it shines. And I'm gonna place it on top of this creature.
Mm-hmm. It's quite big, so you can place it on it, but not on top of it, I'd say.
Oh no, like enough. So I set a location, so it's like a 5. Yeah. 5 radius thing. So I'm selecting the location, not the creature. Yeah. So that is level 1 format. You know what? Forget about it, because that's a 2nd level spell, which I don't think we have access to.
Not quite yet. Sorry, my love. I should have thought about that.
In that case, Toll of the Dead, please.
Please, Toll that
please
dead.
Make me a wisdom saving throw. 15.
15. Okay. No, it's 14.
So you're gonna take. Is the target missing any of its hit points?
Yes, yes, it is.
So, 8 points
Great.
of necrotic damage.
Great stuff.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm gonna stay there.
Yeah, you are. I'm gonna stay there in its face. Tell it what's what. Great. Lovely. Then we move on to Dree.
Dree. Okay. So it's currently ensnared.
Yes.
There's a possible kaiju battle about to take place, or a mech battle at least. How is this thing looking at the moment?
It's still pretty healthy. It's taken some hits. It's taken 2 hits so far, and they've been good hits, but it's still like swarming and.
And how long do we have left on the clock?
Well, 6 seconds. 6 seconds have passed.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Can I actually do any damage? Now is the question to ask.
You've unlocked Dex, right?
I've unlocked Dex, yeah.
What haven't you unlocked? Because I thought you'd unlocked Int. What have you not unlocked?
I've not unlocked Strength, Con, or Int.
Huh, okay, fair enough. So you've got your spellcasting modifier, you've got your Dex.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at this big bad nasty boy, or gender non-conforming shadow mass, I don't know. And I'm just going to everyone else kind of gets the feeling in their heads that Dree is rifling through insults and just kind of do and lands on one and just goes, "Your mum," and casts antagonize.
Wow. I'm trying to decide whether these creatures have a concept of parenthood.
I feel like the socialization of the insult of "your mum," like when they were just a little shadow monster in Shadow Monster Primary School, this probably went around a little bit at some point.
Sure. I mean, they are a little group of little ones that have created a bigger one. There is no bigger one there. They have to be the bigger one themselves. So I feel there's a lot to unpack there. What am I doing with?
I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw.
Another wisdom saving throw. Sure thing. Oh, it's clearly very effective because that was a 5 total.
Oh, excellent. Okay, that's 4d4 psychic damage.
Nice.
Do I have enough little guys? I do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 psychic damage.
Great.
And then it must immediately use the reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of my choice. The choice is going to be me. I'm out of its range for melee. So that means that on its next turn, the target has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Great. Okay.
And I'm still flying.
Please remind me of that when we get to that moment.
Will do.
Yeah. What does it look like when you fly? Is there any like magical effect that follows you?
Oh yeah. So you know how earlier I was like plucking the strings of reality in a very, very cool, not gaudy way at all. You kind of see the air kind of ripple behind and below, as if there are strings in the air that are going like almost like with heat, but there's kind of like a rainbow sheen to it at the same time.
Nice. I like it. Okay. So, the creature, as it's shifting and roiling in amongst the ensnaring strike, do I have to do anything at the top of my turn with that?
I don't think so, because you just made the wisdom save.
For the ensnaring strike.
Oh, right, sorry.
Just 1 piercing damage.
1 piercing damage. Okay, sure. It can take that. Okay, so... well, no, I didn't mean set its health to 1. I said deal 1 damage.
That's fine.
I'm gonna
You can do that. That sounds just fine.
No. So, and please read me the exact wording of how ensnaring strike works one more time.
Gotcha. The next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, a writhing mass of fawny vines appears.
Not that kind of stream.
Sorry.
I mean,
Ooh.
take whatever you will. Chat's going to go with that no matter what. Appears at the point of impact, and the target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends.
Great.
Concentration up to 1 minute. A large or larger creature has advantage on this saving throw. If the target succeeds on the save, the vines shrivel away.
Okay, so as it's restrained, it can attack with disadvantage. I think what it's going to try is and split up again to try and get out of these vines. So I'm going to hand wave this a little bit. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to make... What was the strength check to get to not get grappled by this thing?
Only 13.
13. It's going to try splitting apart and make a dex check to slip out of the holes in it. Okay, never mind. I rolled a 10.
Oh.
So it tries and it's like... So in its frustration, it now has to try and attack Dree, is that correct?
No. Sorry, let me get the door back up. Give me a sec.
Sorry.
Is that vicious mockery?
No, this was antagonize. No, it just has disadvantage on its next attack roll, whoever that may be.
Okay. It's kind of got disadvantage anyway. So I think that, the closest person is going to be Sassy still, because the other two of you are flying away or hidden in the thing. So I think in frustration, it's going to writhe and try and swing out at Sassy. But all of this is now at disadvantage. I need to roll a 12 to actually hit you. Let's see how that goes. Okay. No. 1 hits you. 2 hit you. 1, 2.
Silvery barbs.
Okay, hold that. I've lost count. There were 4 that did not hit, 4 that didn't hit, and 3 that did. None were crits. Will Silvery Barb's another one to roll again. I'm afraid that's higher.
Also gonna silvery barbs.
Okay.
Only one, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. That will not hit.
I'm also going to... No, I'm not really. I haven't got it.
Screw you and all of your Silvery Barbs. So that's 2 hits. Will still swing out at you. It's still only a little bitty. So that's 3. That's 6, 7, 8 bludgeoning damage. Plus 7 acid damage. As it spits little bits of itself at you and then gets drawn back in by all of those barbs and silvery and ensnaring and all the varieties. Great, that is its turn. We're back round to Curiosity.
Do I have advantage if I shoot at it?
I believe...
Oh, I have to reload anyway.
You do. Let's do the version where you only get 1 attack, but you're reloading.
Cool, that's fine.
You still get to attack and bonus action if you wanted to. Go ahead.
One thing, Evie, you cast your silvery barbs first. Who are you gonna give advantage?
Curiosity.
So my advantage goes to Tinker.
Okay, yeah. Can you give it to yourself? Because I already have advantage.
Oh, fair enough. Go on, Sassy.
Everyone is feeling advantageous right now.
Everybody.
Fabulous.
Oh dear. If I rolled a 17 last round, does that mean I unlocked my dex?
No, because you did not beat its AC
God dang it.
by 5.
So that's a 11, a 14 to hit.
A 14
Advantage.
with advantage. Oh no, a 14 will just miss. It's just kind of like through all of the barbs and the of the incinerator, it just kind of it just sort of pulls down and loops and swirls away from it.
Oh, well, I think there's no bonus actions for me right now, seeing as I'm concentrating on this ensnare. So, yeah, I'm just going to hold on to the ensnare and hopefully keep this creature in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay, we come round to Tinker's turn.
I'd like to start pushing some panels, please.
I'm so glad I actually spent a little bit of time. This is what I was sorting out. Earlier this evening, Ali was like, oh, can you send me a map? And I was like, I've got some stuff to sort out. And it was me actually settling the stats for this thing. Because I had a feeling you might come across it this time. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so from inside the torso, you get the feeling that the controls that you would activate inside this thing would not be relevant here. And we'll get to that when we come to that. You get the feeling that there's nothing here that would be that there's no obvious like push this button and a big arm will appear, right?
Mhm.
You get the feeling that as you're looking at stuff, this was built by you for you all, and you are perfectly safe in here from the creature outside right now, but it might require all of you to come together for this to work.
Come together. Right
Everybody,
now.
it's morphin' time. Everybody, you must all attach yourselves to the different spherical holes that are in this large construct so that we may fight this creature together.
So with that in
Any
mind,
hole is a goal.
well, someone had to say it, I guess.
I mean, no, that's not a bull. That's a
Okay, it's an oob. Oob.
So what you do get is that obviously each socket does have its own controls. The one that looks like it's at the top is operated by a big old button, but there's something about it as you look at it that it's it looks like it's again, you're analyzing it, you're the person that built this, you're great at sort of looking at things and figuring out how they work and what they do. This looks like it would work best with someone who knows about frequencies. But in the spur of the moment, it's the only obvious thing you can do, but there is a nice big button to push there.
I will relay that to Dree to get into the correct socket to push that button.
I mean, what I'm saying here, Josh, is that if you want to spend your turn pushing the button, you can, but it will work better if Dree does it.
I'll push the button and I'll be like, I'm going to push this button, but Dree, I believe that you need to be in this particular socket in order for this to work correctly.
Great. Please make me. I think just to really tune into what this is, can you make me an Arcana check?
I can indeed. Where did my dice go? There it is.
to control this as well, I think, and I am going to make a dexterity saving throw. Sassy, prepare your dice because you might need to as well, just in case.
I rolled an 11 for an 18.
Okay, great. With an 18, you recognize just as you're about to push the button what this is going to do, and I think you managed to like heft yourself into it, so this thing definitely points at the creature and not Sassy, who is right next to it. As a sort of it's hard to see, but you can all hear a tune, a song, like a note that does not belong here, a note from somewhere else. And Dree, for you, it feels like home. But it's like this note, this sound is focused purely at the creature in front of you, this little shadow creature. Could you please roll me 5d6?
1, 2, I've got 3 there, so I have to roll another 2. So that's 8 so far. 9, 14 in total.
14 in total. And can you add 10?
24.
24. Great. As this pure sound just rips into the creature, it doesn't have a mouth to shriek, but it sort of joins this weird discordant note that doesn't belong here. And I think all of you are taken aback a little bit. That was it working at half power.
These
do you
can
have any
be
bonus
fused.
actions?
These can be fused, please. Bonus. Talking is a free action. Really, a lot of excitement coming through the connection in a minute. It's like, come on, everybody, let's get together and we'll be all right. Sorry, Dree, that's your thing. I'm just really excited.
Sassy, we're going to come back round to you.
Nothing else on my turn.
As in top of the round, right?
Yes, this is top of the round. Another 6 seconds have passed. You do feel like things are drawing very, very close now.
Do I feel any indications from Tinker?
Yeah, you've all seen this. Yeah, you get the messages that Tinker is putting out.
Okay. So let me see. I want to. I feel like we have enough. If I want to start climbing, do I need to use my action to do that? Or is that part of my movement?
You can use your movement, but obviously it's like you don't have a climb speed. So if you're trying to climb up to one of the arm sockets, then, you know, it'll probably take me, but you're right there. So you're fine.
So with my moving, I can get to one of the sockets?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to firstly toll of the dead. Could you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Absolutely. This isn't a disadvantage anymore, is it? It's just Dex checks.
No, it's flat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rolling so badly. That's a 7.
So you take 7 points of necrotic damage.
It's looking really, really rough.
And I start climbing to one of the sockets.
Great. Which one are you aiming for? Like
For the left one.
Bottom side or top side?
Top left.
Top left. Great. Lovely. You're able to get to, and it does feel like as you get to this socket, it does look like it would open and close to fit you. in there, but you would be whilst Tinker has dropped down inside the whole thing, you could sort of slot yourself into it so you're hanging out the side.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a hand here, but whenever you're ready, honey, you do you. And yeah, I start like trying to, like when you're like in your sofa and you want to get your right position. I'm starting doing that, like
a
in the
little nuzzling in. Sure.
Yeah,
Great.
this is the spot.
Just there. Perfect. We're now going to go down to Dree.
I go to my hole, the hole that belongs to me.
You fly down. I mean, you're not in the way the mimic creature is what it is. You're not having to go past it. You can just fly down and kind of and hunker down as well. What would you? That's your movement. I am saying I should clarify. It is a bonus action to get into this thing. What would you like to do?
Oh, is there can I sense any immediate benefit of being in here? Like, is there anything around me, or am I just kind of sitting in a docking station right now?
It feels like this is a thing you've done before as you do it. It feels like this is built for you. I mean, you're all the same chassis, right? You're all a ball, but it does feel like this is yours. Yeah, I don't think there's any like, I have powered up by being in here. You can sense this thing is starting to, you can see all the little like trails of light through the carvings of the surface of it. And they do kind of join round next to your socket as well. I think each time one of you is like come near it as well, the little rolly ball that's in the sort of the center at the chest has kind of gone.
Ooh, I try and make the noise back, but I don't actually do very well.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Great. That's your movement and bonus action.
Cool. I guess. Well, I don't need to fly anymore. I'm docked. So I'm going to go for a Tasha's hideous laughter on old Shadows McGee.
Shadows McGee. Sure. What am I doing? What are you doing?
Wisdom save, please.
Wisdom save. Do you love these wisdom saves? Do you all?
Wait, is it still instead, actually?
I need to stop rolling that dice because that was another 5 for a 7.
Oh, well, that does not make it. I just remembered that it's still ensnared, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it already prone anyway?
It's. I don't think it's. I don't know. Restrained is not technically prone. It's very hard for a swarm of shadow creatures to be prone because they're all sort of simultaneously prone and not prone as they're kind of writhing around each other. There's bits of it that have fallen off.
The effect of this spell is that they will laugh so much that they are prone.
Does it do any damage?
No, because I have one damage spell actually, which is Vicious Mockery.
Did you want to viciously mock instead?
Sure, I'm trying to think of a good burn. I'm just gonna look at it and say, "Oh, look at me! I'm a little shadow creature. Oh, my plants! I don't like them. Oh," and cast Vicious Mockery.
Amazing. Okay, so what am I doing now? Is it still wisdom?
It was a whiz save.
I'll roll the 7 over.
Cool. Okay, and that's 2 d4s. And that is a 4 and a 2. That's a 6.
Great. Amazing. What does it look like as your vicious mockery? Does it have any physical manifestation, visual manifestation, or is it just the words leave your mouth and this thing keels over?
The words leave your mouth, but then almost kind of animation style. There's kind of like lines going through the air that are kind of green and red, almost as if they're physically hitting the creature and just like, oh no, not words.
Nice.
Very dramatic.
Amazing. I'm aware of time. I know this is a long half running, but I want to just drive through a little bit longer. As the swarm of shadows collapses and settles. Sassy, as you've been keeping track of things, you realize you've got 12 seconds left.
Communicate that. Guys, choose wisely your next 2 actions.
What are you going to do? Otherwise, if you all just sit there going, "Ah!" time will reset.
Is there any way that I can hook myself up to this thing to try and control it remotely? And maybe get it to meet, and maybe when time resets, I can get it to meet us halfway?
I think I'm going to carry over the 19 that you had before, unless you want to roll to see if you roll higher.
I will carry the 19 over because you're so generous.
Doesn't look like that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel left out, so curiosity definitely will be like running to try and get in at least before we reset.
Great.
I'll take a leg. I'll take anything.
I'll take a leg. I think knowing that there are 4 of you, I'm going to give you this because some of you are at least intelligent enough to figure this out. If only one of you is a leg, it's not walking anywhere fast. So, Tinker, you might feel that would be a good place for you to slot into if Sassy has gone for an arm.
Okay, I shall do that.
But you can find this little panel inside that allows you to, rather than having, you can sort of pop out and stay socketed.
Okay, so I can still control it from my position, but I would just be a leg.
Yeah.
There doesn't need to be one of us in the central bit to control it. We can all be in different bits.
Yes.
So the 5 holes, 2 legs, 2 arms. What's the 5th hole? Just the entrance into the main cockpit?
There's the head that Dree is currently sat in.
Okay.
Manage with one arm.
I'll give you all a connected moment, and this will be the last thing that you sort of see as time starts to... You hear a low thud from above, and time starts to warp. But as the 4 of you socket yourself into this thing, the little rolly ball that's in the sort of the center chest bit will kind of go... And Tinker, you'll get a message directly saying, "Not all of you, but close enough, I suppose." And you'll each sort of, as you're like nuzzling your way in, you each get a sense of what you might be able to do with this thing. Is that Dree, there's the button there. You know there's a button. Interestingly enough, I'll give you this as well. You get the sense that it's been used. So you might only have one shot with it. So now that we've got 2 legs, this is a weird one because Tinker, your body is forming a leg that curiosity is now able to control, but your sentience is with your little tot, your little rolly ball in the core. So you are still able to focus on the torso. And you get a feeling that so what you missed before, what you dismissed as not useful before, is that it seems to be able to cast out this network connection that you have, a temporary version of that to others like you that are not like you. And Sassy, as you insert yourself into the arm socket, you feel yourself becoming the arm, and you feel like, not like I could swing this hammer before, but now I could really swing this hammer, and I get the feeling that if I went for it, I wouldn't. If I was surrounded by multiple targets, I'd hit all of them, not just one.
Or I could snap them all.
Absolutely. I missed out exactly what the legs do for you, and I'll put all of this in the chat. I'll break it down properly. For you, Curiosity, you get the feeling that the legs, yes, you're in charge of where things move, but they also would be good at stomping and doing a big kick to sweep things back. So you get that, like, as you're sort of using these last couple of seconds, the whole thing sort of maybe does a bit of a as you're sort of figuring out how it moves and swings, and there's a bit of awkward wild flailing, and then time starts to stretch and rip and go black, and we end up back in the cupboard. That's where we're going to take a break. Come back to see what we're going to do now that we can create a Mega Doris. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of episode 3 of Nexus Revolutions, and we are about to revolve again. We've just had a battle with some swarmy mimicky things, and discovered what, I mean, it won't have been called this originally because you were not called Dorises originally, but I like to call it the Mega Doris. So you've discovered that that is a thing that Tinker made way back when, in another life. So, as time has warped and reset, and you find yourself back in the maintenance cubby in engineering on level 2. Once again, as you're going through this time warp back into the cupboard, you have... Actually, no. I'm going to hold on to that for a second. Let's do admin first, because I don't want you to forget stuff because we've done admin. Hands up, who has not unlocked 5 stats? I think that should be all of you, actually. Dree, you've only unlocked 3, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you've got what? Strength, con, and int?
Yep.
I'm going to roll a d6. No, you roll a d6.
Okay, D6. Come on. 1.
1, okay, so you've unlocked your strength, which I believe goes down.
Yep. Everything's firing, nothing short circuits, and everything just goes limp.
And also roll me a d4 now, please. And everyone else, please roll me a d4.
Got 2.
A 2.
Mhm.
So you now have unlocked your intelligence as well.
That also goes down.
Great.
I've only gotten worse.
Sorry. Sassy, you're at the top of my list. You had con and charisma left to unlock, didn't you?
Con and charisma, yeah.
Yeah. What did you roll in your d4? A 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. So you unlock your con. Please. Curiosity. Did you have 3 or 4 stats unlocked before?
I've only got 3.
You've only got 3. So roll me a d6 first, please.
Six.
That's your charisma.
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 Now please roll me a d4.
4.
A 4. That's your con, which I believe stays the same.
All of the ones I didn't want.
It's the one stat you need for all your things is the
What
one
are you
that
missing?
rolled.
Dex. We're gonna get you Dex right now.
Gonna do something. Gonna do a backflip as soon as you come out of the warp and just.
Yeah.
Right, and then Tinker, you had Dex and Charisma to unlock, right?
Yes, I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4. That's your Charisma.
Yeah, he says the same.
Good. Right. Now that's admin out the way. For those of you watching who didn't clock from last time, we've been using special character sheets where they all started with a base stat block, and then as they did special stuff and rolled really well at particular ability scores, they unlocked it. Or if they haven't done anything fantastic in a loop, by the time they get to the end of that loop, they've found themselves a bit more, and other processes have been diverted to other stuff, and they've unlocked more of their final character sheet. We're super close now. What was that face for, Josh? You looked excited, and I'm concerned.
Well, I mean, when I get all of my stuff, I can do things.
Good. Okay, cool. Right, so... No, bring up the thing. Bring up the thing. Thank you. Okay. So now we get to the actual plot. As time warps in you, before you wake up in the cubby again, this network between you all pings another memory from what I'm labeling in capital letters the before times. When you had a feeling of society, like minds, being allowed to agree and disagree and celebrating difference. Choosing, not being told, choosing to explore. Choosing to fight and rescue and adventure. And the rest of them, similar to you, but not networked like you. The rest of them ready to follow your orders, not because they must, because you gave them permission to want it. And they did. And they continue to follow you as leaders. And this feeling of society hones in on a party, a celebration. You are surrounded by your followers, your friends, those that are like you but not like you. There's music. There is dancing in the capacity that you dance and sing and create music. Eziren was there.
Right.
Eziren, the name you all cried out when you first glitched. And is that DR04? DEM024, they are there. Outside of this party, outside of your spelljammer, there is the flash of stars. There are nebulas, explosions, and sweet, sweet chaos. And you wake up in the maintenance cubby. Please, could you all make me a history check?
Guidance. Well, no, I guess I don't know. Yes.
It's all sort of a passive
Mhm.
history, I guess.
14.
The
17.
advanced- 17? Dree?
5.
5?
4.
4. The DC for this, I've been setting lower and lower every time you loop. So with a 17, Eziren, it's DR01, innit? Eziren was Dr. Durrani's Doris. Before, in the before times, they were known as Eziren. This suggests to you that in the before times, you all also had a different name. Whether that matters to you now or not is entirely up to you. Whether you care to think about it, try and remember what it was, or whether you are happy with who you are, that is or what you are calling yourself now, that is entirely up to you. Because you have, whilst you've only been Dree, Curiosity, Tinker, and Sassy for about an hour, really, you're starting to feel at home with who you are. So that's up to you to decide. And as a DM to players out of character, again, this is entirely up to you. If you want to come up with a name that you had in the before times, please do. I'm not going to give you one. That's entirely your call. I'm going to give you this for free, Sassy, because you have been the one that's been actively tracking this. Time has reset by 28 minutes and 6 seconds.
Okay. So we are now in 70.
Oh,
no.
God, I didn't...
78. Yeah. No, 24. 84. 84.
84.
84 minutes.
And 6 seconds.
And 6 seconds.
I think what I'm going to give you now, because you were all connected and you were all sharing thoughts at speed, we're going to have like a period of maybe 30 seconds a minute. I'm not going to make like actions and rounds and that kind of thing, but I'm going to give you the leeway that you can have discussions quicker than you might in person as players. So I'm not going to be mean and say, if you sit here and have a 10-minute discussion, that's a 10-minute out of your next loop.
Question.
Yes.
Just because this is how we restarted the previous revolution, do we get the message?
Oh yeah,
of emergency?
absolutely. You're in the dark, you get the message, in emergency, push button to exit.
So as the message starts, the first word is like, and instead of pushing the button, Sassy turns around, and in this darkness that sort of freaks them out, is gonna hug the one that is behind.
It was canonically curiosity.
Just gonna stay there for like 6 seconds, and like, many times I witness Menari having bad days, not knowing what to do with situations or their feelings. And she used to, just sit down and breathe. We don't breathe, right? So this is gonna be weird, but just pretend that we're breathing. So let's count. So this is gonna be like an exercise of breathing, just to check that everybody's fine with what is happening and making like a mental health check-in. Is everybody feeling fine? We don't have to get away. We don't have to get out of here. I don't even know what we're doing. We could just stay here, safe.
I have an idea. So this keeps resetting no matter what we do, and as much as I don't want to do the time warp again, what if we used this revolution just to have a party and reconnect with our roots? And then, for the next one, we can go back to Megadoris and get the things and solve the mystery. But for now, what if we party?
I never been in one of those. What would we do?
You have. You literally just had a memory of being at a party.
Oh yes, that's true. Let's.
But
I just remember.
it was just a memory. Why don't we make it a reality? Oh, by the way, Dree, you're still standing on my foot.
Yes, I'm just going to turn your voice to another accent. Hang on. Ooh.
All right.
Immediately.
All right. Yeah, you're standing on my foot there, my lover.
Okay, that's a little bit too much. A little bit too much. Oh no. How do I work this? This is much better. I'm so on gate. I'm so on board with this one.
Is that better?
Please,
Is this better?
This is better.
Ah, I did not go with the Spanish.
No. We'll see how this one goes. There is room for improvement, but apparently I can just change your voice as and when I please. So, we'll keep playing with that.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna press the button, and as I get out to the room, I lock the door from the inside.
Oh, right. Okay. No, you've not locked the rest of the
No.
locked Minari's office. Okay, sure.
That is office door. And I also like to imagine that we have inbuilt lighting systems.
Oh, dancing light.
Sure.
Like a strobo light, but I'm gonna use my my feature from Twilight Cleric to create this mist. So we are like in a nightclub with smoke machines and little lights. Can you play some tunes, Dre?
Yep, absolutely. Here is one. I don't know if you know it.
Right.
No, Darut Sandstorm starts playing.
Right. Okay. I was thinking you'd gone like, what does the fox say?
Well, yes, that was kind of what it was, wasn't it? Yes, canonically, I'm playing What Does the Fox Say? Sorry, I know you said you wanted us to get the plot moving, and we've decided to have a party instead.
I've given you a big plot dump. It's fine. You sit in it.
Like Hugh montage.
Yeah. I think if you're gonna party, you're absolutely welcome to. I want to know what everyone is contributing to this party.
I can use magical tinkering 4 times. I can have it active on 4 objects. So I'm going to have 2 of them as like different levels of bass to go with the music, and then 2 of them is 2 like rainbow, almost prismatic lighting that's coming up from the floor. And I'm going to stick, if we've got like any like glass or crystalline type balls anywhere, I'll stick them over the top so they like sends it all over the room.
Amazing. Yeah, as a reminder, each loop is a long rest, so you've got anything that you need a long rest to reset, you got them all back.
So it sort of contrasts with Sassy's Twilight.
Nice.
I also have the mission to give dexterity to Mike. So Sassy's gonna challenge. Sassy's gonna challenge Fortitude to a breakdance battle.
Oh yeah.
And I plan to unlock my charisma, and hopefully they can unlock the dexterity.
What is this metagaming, Ali?
Could I take part in the breakdancing, please?
I try and be a nice. How nice have I been to you all today? And you are taking my mechanics I have come up with and throwing them in my face.
Using against you.
Yes. What is this? They say that a DM's role is not to be like you versus the player. You're collaboratively telling a story, and I try that, and look what happens.
I'd like they just not been left out. I've unlocked decks, but I too would like to get in on this breakdancing party.
You can do all the breakdancing you want, Drew.
Breakdance battle. Dance off.
The other thing Curiosity's doing is taking, because we're in the engineering and maintenance place, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take all the different oils and lubricants and put them in a big bowl and make like a death punch for this party.
Okay.
Really drench themselves in this.
Is anyone else helping Curiosity gather stuff for the punch? Great.
Being here, probably I know the hidden places where secret stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. What I'm going to give you actually with this. So, as you're going around the engineering department, I mean, knowing Minari and knowing Shell, they're the sneaky ones, right? They'll have the extra special stuff. So when you're in Shell's office looking for helping Curiosity with this role, could you please make me a perception check, Sassy?
Yeah. I will guide myself. I will be like, I need help of Saloon.
Curiosity, by the way, you get to find all the stuff you want for free.
Nice.
So that was a natural 20.
Oh!
And max on guidance. That is max. I cannot roll higher than a 31.
Ah,
yeah.
amazing. Okay, I mean, it goes without saying that, I mean, Curiosity is the one that came up with the punch idea. Curiosity is the one that's going to mix it, but you have found the best oil for it. It's going to be so delicious.
There is a. I imagine Dree behind us making like a sound like so.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
like a whiskey bottle, just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whiskey bottle, and it's just got a label on it that just says the good shit.
And a skeleton figure. Skull. I present it to curiosity.
Are you sure you don't want to, save this for a special occasion?
You know what's best? In 28 minutes, there's gonna be one ready to go.
That is true.
Yeah. I guess I'll start sticking it into a big old bowl.
Shut.
Whoa. Hold on. With your 31, was it? Curiosity? Sassy, sorry. The other thing you find while you're in Shell's office, because you did look for general stuff in engineering before and gather bits and pieces, but you never sort of went into Shell's office and properly looked before. Now, you find just on her desk, super easy to grab and see, a tool that is magically infused that has been put there to help with it's been invented to help with any injuries you might get whilst doing engineering. And you've seen her use it before. It might be that healing wand that you had on your shopping list.
I'm gonna take it as well. And now that I feel like we're gonna get shit-faced, I'm gonna start just wasting the target. And you gotta heal, and you gotta cure wounds, and you gotta cure wounds.
Great.
What else? I think you can have restoration. Let me see, because probably if the first one that pukes, I can just cure the hangover.
I'm so glad this is the use that you're using this for. Great. So we have punch. Great idea. We have lighting. We have mist. We have music. Let's get this dance battle sorted, right? I would like Dree, Tinker, and Sassy first to make me performance checks or acrobatics checks for this dance.
I do this with my invisible lifts, and I said, no guidance this time. As I roll with the basic. Oh, Jesus.
I will guide myself because I can. You got this. Ooh.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
I got a 27.
Wow. 12.
Tinker?
I managed to push myself. I didn't go for performance. I went for, was it acrobatics you said for the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I managed to push myself to a 21.
Sassy?
12.
Thank goodness. Curiosity. Your DC is 12.
Never felt so seen.
To make me a breakdancing dex check.
Oh, you got 14!
You got a 14! It's not 5 higher than 12, though.
It's not, though.
Guidance.
Roll guidance.
Yes, please.
Inspiration, you're so inspired by my sick moves.
I can't do anything to help you. Good luck.
17!
Yay!
Yay!
Hey!
Well done, teamwork. Hey, look, it's almost like the message here is you are stronger when you work together, even though you're your own people.
And roll terribly? Does that mean I get to click that beautiful?
Yes, please tick Dex. Remind me as well as you tinker, what did you roll?
I rolled a 21.
Yeah, you can tick it as well. Amazing. Terrible, terrible abuse of my mechanics, but you sold it. So well done.
I reckon while everybody is celebrating Curiosity's ability to break dance, I will sneak away.
Okay.
Oh. I lock the door and I have high passive perception.
I will use one of the vents in here because I reckon there's vents in here.
Roll me a luck check for a vent specifically in Minari's office.
Would you like me to roll D100 or D20?
D20. Odds there isn't, evens there are.
Even, that was 19. Odd, sorry, 19.
Odd. Have to go outside Minari's office for that.
I just stood at the door trying to open it.
I feel like they're on existing record scratches. And the party goes silent. I approach behind and I say, I unlocked the door. Just to know that you're not alone anymore.
I know. I don't want them to get hurt. We saw them getting chased by those creatures that attacked us before, and I don't want them to be left on their own. I want to go save them and get them and bring them back here to party with us. They're my little friend. They're our little friend.
And we'll all come.
Understand?
As this touching theme is going about, Dree is rolling around in the punch.
Great.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead. I'll get Dree. We'll see.
Great. So you make your way through the vent into the Great Hall. There is the plant pot there, which you kind of need a couple of you to push together to move it.
Or one charging curiosity.
Or one charging curiosity. But I mean, Dree, given that Curiosity said we'll all come with you to go and get the little one, are you gonna get out of the bunch and come with, or are you gonna be like, I'll be here?
I mean, how good does it feel to lie in the punch? That's the question.
Feels pretty good.
Oh,
like the oil is just loosening every little nut and bolt, and it just feels. Now heat is not a thing that works the same way for you all that it does humans, but it's like a just right bath. It feels cozy rather than warm. Obviously, it's not warm.
I would say what you all hear in your heads is, "Go on, if you need me, ping me."
All right.
Great. So Curiosity, you go and join the rest of them in the Great Hall.
Do you need me to charge? Just let me know.
I think you've done this already now, so you know. I think between you, you can charge, and you've got it. You managed to move it out. I don't need rolls for that. Sassy, you look like you had face.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Dree.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Then Curiosity and Tinker, you're able to charge your way into the Great Hall, and it'll be maybe a minute or so because you've spent some time partying and gathering stuff. The little rolly ball will come out.
I'll just say, Curiosity. While I'm waiting for my little friend, would you like to go pick up Dree's item from the doctor's office so that we can bring that back for them as well, please? That way we could have some more banging tunes.
Yeah, just watch it back at here. Just be careful. Just if you have to run, take your little friend and I'll see you in there. And he'll scamper off. I would know where it is because I've never actually been in that room technically, but
You know exactly where it is. How long do we think we have spent gathering materials and starting the party?
solid like 15 minutes. Not longer.
Okay. So you know that the creature comes through the Great Hall at 23 minutes. So You've
8
got
minutes.
time, but you
Mm.
need to go and come back. You
Yes.
can't be dilly-dallying.
Shall we roll if I get distracted or curious by something?
I
Well-
didn't ask you to do anything, but sure, go ahead.
I know who I am. And curiosity's got very little self-control. That's a 5. I don't know what that would mean to you, Nat. You just...
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, I think. Sassy, you're staying behind with Dree. Pourquoi?
So this place sometimes gets really messy, and there is a little vacuum cleaner, old-fashioned, medieval fantasy version of vacuum cleaner. But this is able to go in reverse. So, like, if you want to inflate something, medieval fantasy version of inflatable mattress or whatever. So I'm gonna put it in reverse, and I'm gonna put the little hose inside the oil. So now we have a jacuzzi. Is there enough space for both of us?
I mean, well, we didn't define what you got as a punch bowl.
A big
So,
bucket.
A big bucket. I mean, you're
Do we
still...
have like oil baths for dipping Doris's in and out?
I suppose you would. Not thought about it, but I guess you probably would.
I feel like this is going to catch up with us later.
It would not have been in Minari's office though. It would have been in the general engineering, like another room off the general engineering hub.
Then, it's fine if I don't get into the bath. I just go. I think this was a good idea, Dre. Like, yeah. But what do you think? What do you want to do if we get out of here? Like, our whole lives been here. It seems like our memories are coming back. Shall we find a way to get to the party?
Sassy, you are worrying too much. You need to live in the moment more, like me. I'm sure we'll get to the party eventually, but for now, let's just enjoy what we have here. One step at a time.
You're right.
Don't be a buzzkill.
I'm gonna sit on the rim of the bucket and just gonna sing my 2 little feet.
Cute.
Thank you, Dre. You're so wise.
I can also sing very well. Would you like a song?
Yes, please.
Oh, good. And I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. And
While this is going on.
No, none of the rest of the song. It's
Oh,
those
just
2
that.
lines.
Just that.
It's just those lines. On loop.
It's almost like Dree knows and has internalized like the Twitch fair usage rights about music, licensed music, and just that's all they know.
Yeah.
Okay, while that is happening, we're gonna scoot across to Tinker. Little Rollyball's gonna come up to you as they did before. And is there? Curiosity's not come back yet.
Oh, it's good to see you, my friend. Pick him up. Hey, oh, nice. While I've been waiting the minute or so for Little Ball to come along, can I have a little scan of the floor to see if there's any like discarded weapons or anything? Particularly something ranged.
I think, I mean, go ahead. Go and make me an investigation check.
It is a investigation 15.
15. I think in here, it's mostly, it wasn't a particularly like well-armed place. Like there were lots of people who were just doing their sciencey research jobs, you know, and they didn't necessarily carry pretty heavy weapons at all. If there was something particularly you were after I mean, obviously, you know that in Tusk's office there's a crossbow. You know there is a security suite upstairs if you're after a specific weapon, but also you're a creative person, and there are lots of bits in engineering. What I'm saying, Josh, is if you want a basic weapon, you can craft it out of the stuff that's in engineering.
Okay, I'd like to, when we go back, I would like to craft myself a basic fire-based weapon or something.
Well, when I say a basic weapon, I mean like your standard like bow, crossbow kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sling, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, you didn't mean like fire elemental, you meant like a weapon that you fire.
Yeah, yeah, weapon like a fire elemental.
Yeah, sure.
Crossbow.
So you know there's a ready built one in Tusk's office, but you can probably construct one out of all of the gubbins that are in engineering.
Okay, and I'll pick up a few pieces of broken Dorises that are around as well, like some chassis pieces and all that, and I'll start looking to try and fit it to myself. Like, this gives me an idea. I wonder if I could do this, and I wonder if Curiosity would like the bucket. And then I go back into the thing to go get the bucket.
Great. So, you've left, so you're not sitting there waiting for Curiosity to see what happens. Curiosity, I mean, it's right there in your name. You go to get the mandolin and you walk past a vent in the research labs. And you remember, because you all share information very clearly, because again, Sassy rolled a blinder on the check to find the map with the vents. And you're like, oh, this one. Yeah. I'll give you a choice. It can go downstairs to the area that you were investigating before, or it can be the one that goes to the Arboretum.
Can we play games of highs and lows? Lows is downstairs.
Go down a level.
Mistake. And highs would be the Arboretum. 7.
A 7.
So it takes you downstairs.
So you don't feel that, like, up to you what Curiosity does. You personally don't have to go down that way, but you know that that's what it does.
Although now you say it, I don't want to go back. Well, one to the Tusk's office, but I also do want to go into the Arboretum. So I'm pretty torn. I feel like there could be something. I'm gonna go almost like I'm taking a slide down into Tusk's office, and I want to see if I can find anything.
Okay, great. You all realize, because again, you're all connected, as Curiosity has that thought of, whee! You're like, oh.
Oh, shit.
He's gone down there. So, up to you what you do with that. I'm going to say, Tinky, you can make it back to Minari's office very easily, and you find the two of them hanging out in the oil.
Does anybody else get that feeling that Curiosity is doing something curious?
I believe so. I don't know if they're coming back to the party or not.
Look at my wrist, knowing full well there's not a watch there. I believe the creature is due to go to that room that Josh can't say, but Doris can, in about so many minutes.
By now, I'd say that you're probably coming up to. You spent 15 minutes looking for stuff. You spent a couple of minutes waiting for a little rolly ball. So I think you're probably coming up to like the 18, 19 minute mark. So you got 4 minutes before it arrives, and another 9 or 10. And another 5 before things loop again. After that.
I think Curiosity is going to do as Curiosity does. Why don't we keep an eye on their exploits through our networking link and continue to party hard?
I lock the door again.
I start rooting around for things. I'm going to start having to fiddle with all the bits that I've carried back with me. I'm going to let my little friend go and party with the others, and I'm going to be working on stuff and downloading blueprints from my time with Tusk and using ideas that he's come up with to basically use my artificial infusion trait so I can make some infusions.
Great.
Sassy asks for consent to cannonball the little ball into the oil.
You can if you want to, my friend. It's up to you. I'm saying this to the little ball.
Do it. In the background, you just hear, "What does the droid say?" Yeah.
Yeah. Party animal. Yeah.
Amazing. This scene continues. Let's go downstairs to Tusk's office. What are you looking for, Curiosity?
A lot of trouble, inconvenience to everybody else.
Okay.
Right answer. Right answer.
Well, obviously I can see the crossbow that's lording over. Specifically, the information I clearly missed, and then the something for Tinker.
Great.
I feel like Curiosity thinks that Tinker's avoiding this room for a reason, and he'd like to be able to present it to him without him having to put himself, without Tinker having to put themselves through going into this room.
Sure.
So Curiosity would quite like to find that and bring it back to them.
Yeah. Make me an investigation roll with advantage, because you've been here before and you're a bit calmer now.
That is investigation. That's a 14.
14.
And I'm proud of that because
Like I say, the DCs for these things get a little bit easier every loop. With a 14, you spot near the little docking station in the corner that must be where Tinker used to dock. There's some extra panels that look curved, about your size. You, knowing that you've sort of been connected to Tinker in a weird way, I mean, Tinker would know best, but you don't feel like they ever got a chance to try these on or wear them, but maybe Tusk had been working on something, or, well, I say Tusk would have had the idea and commissioned someone else to do it. But there are some sturdier panels here that look like they've got a little bit of a magical sheen to them, a little bit of a magical energy. Maybe Tinker would know better what to do with that. Something else you notice in this room, it's weird thinking back. There's been certain places in this facility where each of you has sort of had a memory of not the before times, but where you've had a little realization of a memory that you had before the looping started that you'd not forgotten but just felt relevant. And it's almost like you know that Tinker should come here and they might get a similar thing, but it won't work for you. And finally, the third thing that you get is, with a cool, calm neural processor, you start looking at the notes and the pages on the desk. And there is a note, like a journal type thing, dated the day after you all glitched. But before, clearly, shit went down in the labs. So the day in between. So just before shit went down. But you were already in the engineering labs at that point. And it goes along the lines of he's been spying on his staff, because of course he has. That there Dr. Durrani has been working on things that are not quite to task. But I'm gonna let her keep trying, because she's a clever one, that doctor. And who knows what else she might come up with for me. Because, of course, all her work is for me, obviously. I mean, there was this long silvery rod thing I saw, and it seemed to have something to do with time and chronergy magic. It sounds real, like it's got real potential for me to really exploit that and make the best of things here. I really ought to chase her up on that when she's done making me the necromancer. Nexomancer, not a necromancer. Don't do necromancy, Tusk. That's the first thing you learned in school before they kicked you out. Don't do necromancy. It's not worth it. And he gets distracted. But the key thing is he was curious in the research she was doing. That's what you get. You've still got a bit of time. You know that that mimic swarm didn't turn up until 30 seconds before the time loop, and you've got about 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Did you say that the lift in Tusk's private quarters was broken?
No. The platform wasn't at Tusk's level.
I'll pull the lift. And just sort of do the classic like whistling while I'm waiting for it to come down. Touch wood, there's nothing on the lift waiting when it arrives.
Well, it's going to take a few minutes, so I want to check in. In the spirit of time, because whilst the Dorisai have all of it at the moment, we don't. Is there anything specific else at the party that you would like to happen? Or just general boogieing?
General boogieing until it's only like a few minutes to. Then hopefully brief discussion of plan for the next rotation. And also I would like to keep an ear out to see if I can pinpoint where the gong comes from.
Okay. Tinker, Sassy, anything that you would want to happen at the party, or are you happy with that being the plan?
I would be fiddling around with some tinkering bits, and then I will go, Sassy, I've got something I'd like you to try. Come here.
Rocks.
No, it's not rocks. And if you allow, may I attach these to your legs?
I feel like Cinderella, but please.
And you'll see that they are... So... Going off of us being Doris's, there's like an ankle bracelet that goes on the top, but it's connected by two metal bits that connect down to a bottom like foot panel, like a sole, like almost like sandals. And I put that on both sides. Now do this. Go walk that way 15 feet and then think about me.
I walk. And I think about me, and it's like, oh, no. And then I think of Tinker.
And as you think of Tinker, you teleport back to me. What do you think of that? Is that really cool, or what?
I don't know why our characters always end up romancing Josh.
Oh, you.
Sassy and Tinker end up like, yeah, this
Oculus
is...
to Oculus.
This is unique. I'll find a use of it.
Those are boots of the winding path. You can use them to get away from anything.
Apart from me.
Apart from me.
It comes with a throwback, right?
Yeah, Dree, I've got something for you. And I pick up like what looks to be like a mini sound bar, and I pass that to you. Right, now, basically out of character, I'm giving you a mind sharpener. So if you fail Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on the spell, you can expend 1 charge on it to succeed instead.
Excellent. I start bashing it against my head in a rhythm to like have the music go as well.
Like a cowbell.
Yeah.
And I've just got my hands on a bucket, and I'm like, now this one is for curiosity. Curiosity isn't here at the minute, so I can't give it to them.
Are you going
well.
to have to do these again for the next rotation?
Probably. Plonk it on my head. And then I'll do that for the rest of the time.
Oh.
Mechanically, I'm going to say that you can pop these items into your inventories, but I will say it's going to take out of the 28 minutes total. If all 4 of you run around to gather the materials to help Tinker do it, and then Tinker has to make these things, it's going to take 8 minutes. So you don't have to do it every rotation, but the rotations where you want to use them, you have to have used 8 minutes to gather the stuff. But I can say things like, okay, well, you're going past the healing wand that's in Shell's office and grab that at the same time, and maybe some of the materials are in Dr. Bindel's office, so you can run and go and grab that. And yeah.
The item for, because I can do 3 infusions at a time, so the item for curiosity is the bucket, and it's a repulsion shield. The creature gains a +1 bonus to armor class while wielding this shield. The shield has 4 charges. While holding it, the wielder can use a reaction immediately after being hit by a melee attack to expend 1 of the shield's charges and push the attacker up to 15 feet away from the shield. It's got to go in the bucket.
I want to make my creature more hard. Like it. Great. Okay, so that's going on in party room. So at Curiosity, the lift eventually arrives. There's a lever there. Do you want to use it?
Yeah, pull on it. Let's go.
Great. You know you've only got a few minutes left of this loop, and it's a slow lift, but you do. It goes up and up and up. You reach a certain point where you can see the light above you. Everyone else is dancing. You can see the light above you of the surface, the exit, the way out. And you pass through anti-magic protective bubble that is surrounding the facility. You don't have any spells that are on you or anything like that, do you?
Nothing active, no.
Nothing happens, but you see yourself pass through it and you're like, that's there. I don't think any of you knew necessarily that was a thing. But you can kind of recognize it for what it is. You yourselves are magical creatures, obviously, but you have gained a sentience and a sapience to the point where you are people, right? It's not like you are a construct that will just collapse going through because you're only being sustained by magic. You've got other things keeping you as sapient creatures.
Would it be like going through it would cause a brief sort of glitch in the network where we would all go, ugh?
I think what it is, actually, is as you pass outside of this anti-magic field, as far as the rest of you are concerned, curiosity has disappeared.
Oh no, where's curiosity gone? Does anybody know?
They were there and then they were not. They
What
just
if-
disappeared.
What if the time is off and they don't come back?
Oh no, I feel I feel that loneliness again.
Out of all of you, Curiosity, you're the one that suddenly feels that void of thoughts, void of processes and companionship. The network is not. Roll me an investigation check on yourself, and the DC is going to be. I'm trying to think what you'd be rolling against, because you're not trying to deceive yourself. You're just investigating yourself. The DC is going to be a 13.
I rolled a 16.
It's not like the network has gone. You can still feel something bubbling there, but it's blocked by that field. There is interference.
It's like almost like an explosion's gone off, and I've got like that high-pitched whining around my head. Curiosity's almost gonna like maybe like panic a little bit and start like yanking the lever, even though I don't know if like once you put it up you have to go all the way to the top before you can do it again to come back down again. But he's just like sort of like yanking it, trying to pull it back down again. Because being separated was never the intention.
The lift continues to rise and rise, and it will get to the surface where you see the Sword Mountain range. A massive sky, clear sky, beautiful blue, sun shining. You feel its warmth on you. Obviously you process heat in a different way, but in your current memory, you've not seen sky.
Well, that panic almost like stops immediately, and it's on like a gasp, or whatever version of a gasp Doris can do, sort of comes out, and he almost for a second forgets that he's been separated, and he just like stumbles out onto the grass or the ground that's around him, and just sort of like falls to his knees and just stares out at like this whole new thing, and then just thinks desperately that he wishes that he could share it with the rest of them.
You know what else is out here as well? Plants. Grass. Trees. Wildflowers. Living. Thriving.
I'll let the clock count down, and he's just going to stay there. He figures, once I've reconnected, I'll show them. Hopefully I'll reconnect. Oh God, what if I don't reconnect? And then he goes back to like that crisis stage of curiosity. But
you know, there's a part of me as a DM that wants to finish there and keep you all in suspense and waiting. But I know how much we've got to fit into the next session. So, time walks. Time begins to stretch, and you see that beautiful scene around you stretch as well. Curiosity.
If I can, I just squeeze Dre and Tinker hands. Like, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna come back.
I look over to my little friend and I'll come get you as soon as we open.
Curiosity will back. We run for items. Make it for Megadoris. I'd also like to listen out for where the bomb is coming from, if I can.
You can't hear it very clearly from here. There is a low thrum. It's about the same volume as you heard it when you were downstairs. So, I mean, I'm going to say it again. You have a feeling that it's probably happening in the Arboretum, but it's not like, just because that's where the creature was going. before things stretch out, and before Curiosity and Tinker were in the Arboretum, that's where it was heard the loudest, but they didn't get very far into the Arboretum that cycle. But it sounds like whatever is causing that loud wag, at least you're obviously you're experiencing the loop, but you're safe from any like explosive effects it might have. Time stretches, goes dark. Now this is interesting because I was kind of thinking you might have made a little bit of a connection yourself here. Maybe you already have. I'm going to narrate this anyway. The memory of the before times that you get. Before, it was a party. But you know that you have broken Primus's directive. You are incorrect. You are chaos. Cyric's chaos. Cyric freed you from that directive. And Primus has decreed that you must be stopped. You know this. As you race your spelljammer through the stars, you begin developing the Megadrone to fight them when they come for you, when they try to correct the way of life that you have built. And you wake up, and it is dark and sassy. You get the instruction, in emergency, push button to exit.
If this would be an action movie, Stacy put the marks under the eyes, press the button, and say, "People, we know what to do."
Let me be clear. Curiosity is next to you.
Hi, guys.
Don't do that again.
Do they immediately get the memories that I had from that moment, or is that entire moment completely been severed from them?
It's different. So they get the memories because you can think of the memory and share it, but they don't feel it firsthand like they would if they'd been networked when you experienced it. So it is like showing someone a photograph.
So yeah, you get that at least. But we're going into action stations, and I imagine we're being infected by Sassy's like ready to fucking go attitude. So
You have still been hug tackled.
Great.
At least you are no longer standing on my foot.
This rotation, would you like a change, or are you happy with this situation?
I'm quite happy with this voice at the moment. It seems that I revert to this voice every rotation.
Okay, I would still reserve the right to mute you whenever I please.
I am
So-
fine with this.
To facilitate speed here, what is on your to-do list?
Get weaponized.
Sorry, let's go along the list. Let's start with Sassy. Go on, what's on your to-do list?
Get the equipment in this room. Get the healing, the set of healing.
Okay. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Curiosity managed, and Tinker managed to fill out the full 6.
Oh yeah.
So I think Dree, it's only fair that Dree and Sassy get to tick off Con and Charisma, respectively.
Yay!
Awesome.
Okay, so Sassy, you wanted to get the healing wand and the what, sorry?
The items in this room, so the
Yeah,
shield
you can build all your stuff.
and the set of healing.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you want to collect stuff, but is there anything beyond what you have not done already in any loops that you would like to add to the to-do list?
I guess I want to
Nice.
go to the staff room in the below level.
Great. Okay. Tinker, what's on your to-do list?
Usual stuff, go get the ball. The one thing that I want to do that we haven't done, that we sort of almost did, is I want to go to the Arterium. I can't say it properly.
Arboretum.
Arboretum, that's the one. I want to go to the Arboretum to see what is causing this, so that we're not going in there blind at the next rotation.
Great. Curiosity, what's on your to-do list?
Show them that we have basically like a direct run between going through to get Dree's mandolin, and then we have a direct drop down into Tusk's office, get Tuck's stuff, get that, and then we can actually get up, potentially even get back to the second floor before any of the important actions happen. Also, a general reminder that 024 is on that pathway, and as far as we're aware, 024 is super important, and potentially even, I might be wrong here, as Ezeren? Or is that a different Doris?
You know for a fact that Ezeren was DR01 and is not
DR, sorry.
DR01 and is not here at all. Tinker was looking for DR01
got
and
myself
confirmed
mixed up there.
she is nowhere to be found. She is not here. Almost like people took her to the Feywild.
Yes. On the same vein, though,
Looking at alienating.
024 is on our way. We can literally grab her, drag her along, and 04 there on sort of like that same trajectory. So we could grab 2 Dorises on the way if we need them, especially for the Mega Doris, if we want to not have an extra person in. And then I'm on the board with Tinker. I would like to basically collect those stuff things, but also drag Tinker into Tusk's office and show them the armor or the magical things, and basically be like, this was made for you. You should do it. You should take it. If you don't want to, I respect it, but I've got to show you it at least.
Cool. Dree, what's on your to-do list?
Handling safety of other Dorises now that I know that they are actually people, and then beelining it to the Arboretum, just regardless of whoever else gets there in time, just running because I think that the timekeeper might be there, and I'd like to get a look, investigate what's going on.
Sure. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you the option. Knowing how long it takes to gather materials and all that kind of stuff, you have the option of, you can either have time to gather everything and be all fully protected and make your way into the Arboretum and explore there, or you can forego gathering stuff because you know the sneaky routes to avoid fights now. You can forego gathering stuff, you won't have any magic items, but you could make it to Tusk's office and back up to the Arboretum in one loop. Which way do you want to go?
I'm for that boat. I don't know about you, Paul.
Yeah, I want to get as much information from the Arboretum as possible.
Great.
Information gathering first, and then next round we'll worry about gear.
Mm-hmm. Great. So you're able to sneak into, go through the vent. Did you want to bother bringing the other 2 Dorises with you at this point?
Not at this point.
Okay.
The only thing I'm going to stop off for is my little companion.
Okay, cool. So you will spend a few minutes waiting in the Great Hall because they don't canonically come up until a few minutes into the loop.
During that few minutes, can I just go over the other Dorises and see if any of them are still active or if they're all inactive?
The ones in this room, I'll give you without a roll, they are inactive. You've
Okay.
been past them enough times to know.
Yeah.
Actually, what I will give you is the one of you, all of you, make me a history check.
$17.
Great. Any advance on 17?
8.
6.
So 17, thinking back to that map of the vents. The vent that little rollerball came out of connects down to the Great Hall below. So you can either wait, or if you beeline it down there, you might meet them down there.
I will do that so I can get them quicker.
Great. I think you can probably figure out you've got plenty of time before the centipede creature comes down the lift shaft. So it's probably quicker rather than, unless you really want to grab the mandolin, it's probably quicker rather than using the vents to use the lift in this case, because you can just go straight across the Great Hall, take the lift down, and you're there. And actually, as you enter the Great Hall here, you'll see little Rollerball comes out of Tusk's office, spots you, looks like they're sort of poking around, rolling carefully, as if they know that there's shit down here, and then spots you.
Pick him up. Oh. It is good to see you, my friend. Right, where are we going now? To the Jesus, it keeps going out of my bloody head. To the, and I say it.
Arboretum?
That's the one.
It will, because it's not networked in the same way that you are, it will start looking at the large sphere, the shell in the middle of the room, as if like, you should investigate this.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. I will remind you that obviously curiosity knows that there's a good reason for Tinker to be forced to go all the way into the office, but it's up to you.
It's like a classic, like, curiosity will take your hand and almost send it before saying it, of like a trust me.
But what happens if Tusk is like Dr. Mendel and sassy? What and I sort of lose my ha-ha voice. What if they are hurt and I can't fix them or help them?
I've seen where they went, and they found what as far as I'm concerned, paradise. They escaped. I didn't see him. All that's in there is your property and your destiny.
Okay, I'll follow. I'll follow.
You head into Tusk's office, and as with all the others, it's like you've hit a node, and just being in that room again reminds you of a time, of a memory, again, that you didn't clock at the time, but now you realize is relevant. You're sat in your dock in the corner, and it kind of looks like Tusk is having a conversation to himself. I don't think any of you are high enough level to have unlocked a sending spell. But he's walking up and down in his office looking frustrated, and I think this is not how this spell works, but he is walking like this, like with his fingers to his temple, as if he's trying to channel the conversation. And he's pacing up and down. Hey, look, Finders Keepers only works as long as you don't sell them, my friend. They're Nexus Arts property now, fair and square. There's a pause. The only reason you might want them back is because you realize there's something special, so I reckon I'll be keeping hold. And then
He hangs up.
you can't hang up a sending, but he does that against his desk. He jabs his fingers into the table as if he's hanging up furiously. And then he rummages around. And he grabs a piece of paper. And because of course he's got a flippin' fireplace in his office, above which the portrait of himself is that's sort of there looking all like, hey, smug. He grabs a piece of paper, and as it flashes past you, obviously you've got a photographic image of there's a logo at the top of this piece of paper that says Astral Sea Scrappage, and then he tears it up and throws it into the fireplace. And you come back into the room.
And you're back in the room.
You're back in the room.
Oh. It looks like we were property. Well, not us, but it looks like I'm going to assume that it was us. That maybe we had been purchased by Tusk from the Astral Sea Scrappage Company. They had ripped up a letter and thrown it into the fireplace. I do not believe that there is. And I'll move over to the fireplace. Is there any evidence of a letter being there?
No.
There is no evidence of a letter being there.
I'm beginning to think that Tusk was a bit of a jerk.
No, Tusk was lovely.
We didn't hear what you said, Evie, but it looked sassy.
Yes, it was a very high-pitched
Great. Very briefly, is there anything else you wanted to do in this room?
I'd pick up the armor plate in the curiosity
Yes.
I pointed out.
Great. Yeah, you look at it and you think, oh yeah, he got the right person to make this. This will fit me. It'll work real well, and maybe it'll be that that special item armor that you are after. You're able to, now you know the vents system, you're able to find one that's going to lead you up to the Arboretum.
Would that mean that we don't have to worry about getting through the overgrowth on the entranceway?
Not this cycle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's almost like you can get there before the centipede does now.
Mm.
Okay, so you peer out from the Arboretum. I mean, there is a plant pot in the way of the exit of this vent, because... But you know how to get rid of that now.
It's like someone kept on placing them there because it looked feng shui, but also really inconvenient.
I roll my Oculus and I lean up against the grate and I go, "Come on, curiosity." I hold my hands out for a hug.
It's like smashes into you.
Is that the official noise you have to make now?
Yep.
Okay, write it down. It's got to happen every time.
Shit. How do you pronounce slash spell? Oh. I wish that the stream could see how I've just spelled that in the notes, but
You'll have to put it in the chat. So, you saw this from a different angle before, but again, this is a room, just as a reminder for everyone, that was clearly like an underground park space, open. There were trees, real trees that have been maintained magically down here. And of course, with Curiosity's expertise. This is mostly magic. They kept them alive down here with no light. You can see now that a lot of the original designer foliage has died off, but there is other flora here that looks, it looks dark, it looks threatening, it looks invasive. I think from this entrance, as you walk in, Curiosity, it's almost like you've also hit another node. And there's another time when you were, again, in here, treating this very plant that was by this vent, giving it a little snip snip and a little water. And you have a memory of Dr. Hildy, who was the elderly turtle researcher who was in charge of the Arboretum, speaking to a tall Loxodon in green overalls, Lauder. And Lauder had obviously set you about on this particular patch. And then you just overhear a conversation. Look, Dr. Hildy, there's only so many times I can come and I can fix this. You know, it's not just that the walls are structurally weak. There's some plant work getting into the old stonework, into the cracks. You've really got to keep an eye on your pests, because, you know, this could be a proper serious structural risk this far down the mountain. Now, what even is that thing? You know, where's that come from? Well, I don't know really. I'm sort of around. It must have come from the other side of the wall, I suppose. How? We are in the mountain, aren't we? How far down are we? How close are we to the Underdark again? And then it fades out. So you find yourself back in the Arboretum. I'm going to, for pace and for time, because I'm aware we're hitting that time. What is your plan? Is your plan just to like run around and look for everything? Or, I mean, you've probably got now maybe 5 minutes before the centipede creature burns its way through the wall.
I feel like Curiosity's learned his lesson, that freaking out and just blitzing through a place doesn't actually help. So Curiosity's just going to turn to you three and be like, help. What are we looking for?
Kind of in your mind, an image is projected of the sketch I saw for the Timekeeper, I think it was called. Like, I think this is the thing that we're looking for. Okay, everybody, different corner, split up. Also, inspiration. Everyone have a bardic inspiration. Go crazy.
And I'm gonna guide myself.
Great.
I'm then going to guide myself, and I'm going to go to this corner.
I'm the only one without a buff now. Oh dear, I didn't think this through. Well,
Welcome to the club. It's all right. It's all
you
right.
have a buff. I gave you bardic inspiration.
Oh, I'll take it. Wait, give yourself it. I can't be trusted.
Can I get?
I don't know if you can.
I think.
What do
you
I
have to.
roll for discovery? Is that
Okay. So the only thing you've got left. Oh no, you've all unlocked everything out of your stat blocks. Okay, so please roll me all an investigation check, plus guidance, plus bardic inspiration. Excited faces from Evie.
Yeah,
Evie, is your bardic a D6 or a D8?
D8.
D8.
Spicy.
Spicy meatballs.
There is a lot of happy faces happening here. It's what I love to see. Right, hit me with them. What have you got? Start with Dree.
That roll for a 19.
19. Great. Curiosity.
It started with a 9 and now it's a 17.
Great. Tinker.
Rolled a 14 for a 28.
Amazing. Thank you, Sassy.
25.
Look at the discovery. You get a discovery. You get a discovery. Bang, 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 bang. Incredible. Okay. Okay. So, I don't technically have 4 things to give you here between the 4 of you, but I want to honor everything. So I think what's going to happen is, let's see, Dree, as you're looking around, you're looking at like through the flower beds, and you discover one flower that has not wilted and faded. Maybe it is from the Underdark. Who knows? But there is a blue rose that just sings to you a little bit. not in a harmonics way, but in a, this has got an outline on it. And you think, I know who knows about plants. I'm going to say curiosity. As you're looking around, in a different corner, you find there are mushrooms around here. Oh, I'm also going to say, obviously, Curiosity and Tinker, before, you knew that there were some viney plants that were reaching up to attack you way back when, the loop that you were first here. So you're able to point to people and say, don't go there. You can avoid them, go around this way. And you're all kind of on the lookout for any vines that start to move. And there are some, but because you're aware of it, you're able to scoot away just as they start moving. But what you do notice amongst all the fungus is a little fungus that sort of is just quietly singing to itself. I'm going to leave that with you. And Evie is mad because the amount of times these have turned up in campaigns that you've been in. Tinker and Sassy. I'm going to say you end up going the furthest in with your super high rolls. And you get to like the far back corner at the Arboretum. Obviously, you've got like the usual layout. There's this big open area, and then there's more offices and more like research labs at the back. So you start making your way through the research labs. And there is one, the largest looking lab, has the label on the door, Dr. Hildy. You have walked past the corpse of an elderly turtle dressed in blue. But this office looks like there is even more vegetation in there. And as you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt for time, as you creep in, you hear noises, rustling noises. There's a metallic clank, clank, clank as something has shifted. And as you turn a corner, you see a great pile of stuff, items, bits and bobs, stuff like plant tools, Doris's, and something that looks like a long silver rod with swirly markings on it sitting on top of this pile. And then from above you, you hear, "What are you doing here?" And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're doing okay. This has been a big info dump of an episode, but also a lovely party time and a lovely exploration time. So I hope your brains are not hurting too much. Have fun for everyone who's sitting there trying to make notes and piece it all together. Put your theories in the chat. What's going on? What's the actual thing that's going on below the layers of what's going on? Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this, we play every Monday, Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time. You can join us on Fridays for something as yet to be announced. It's probably in chat, maybe. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. If you look on YouTube under the same name, Roll Together RPG, you'll find us. Look for podcasts, same name. Social media, Roll Together RPG. You know where we are. You got it. Thank you again to all our sponsors and supporters, but most of all, thank you to our D20 Club. You are all wonderful, beautiful people. If you want to join them and support everything that we do, have a look in chat. Give us one of your local currencies, one of your local goats. It all helps. And don't forget to... I've read that bit. Don't forget to read that bit. Stay classy at the table. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.